Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about See How They Run. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. We got our cast here. None of these people here I would consider to be draws, but they are at least recognizable. A few in particular are definitely recognizable. You got Sam Rockwell. Yeah. Probably the most recognizable out of anyone here. Uh, look at his credits. He voiced Mr. Wolf in The Bad Guys. He's also in Jojo Rabbit and Three Billboards Outside of Missouri, right? Outside of Ebbing, see, he was in Poltergeist, that forgotten Poltergeist remake. Uh, Cowboys and Aliens, ick. Iron Man 2, ick. Bunch of other stuff here. G-Force. Yeah, lots of stuff. But Ninja Turtles, original 1990 movie. Yeah, that was his first movie. So he has my respect for that. Um, but yeah, he's definitely a recognizable face, no doubt about that. Especially like in geekdom. In geekdom. And then we also have another very much recognizable face in Saoirse Ronan. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's been quite a bit of stuff. Uh, Lovely Bones, Hannah, The Host. Oof. The Grand Budapest Hotel, Lady Bird. Did that win her an Oscar? I don't remember, but I know she was nominated. So, and Little Women in 2019, French Dispatch. So she has some clout to her, definitely. Think about looking at it, and Adrian Brody. I know he won an Oscar. I think it was for The Pianist. Uh, yeah, he's been in quite a bit of stuff. Looking through his little resume here, he was in The Village, King Kong, the Peter Jackson one, but then he kind of fell off, which is kind of sad. But he's been like one of the main faces you associate with like Wes Anderson movies. Like he was in The French Dispatch, Grand Budapest Hotel, and Miss Fantastic Mr. Fox is another one. Oh, but there's Predators, Splice. That's a movie I want to see so bad because I heard it's very messed up, and that should be in the I don't actually knowing what I know, I don't know if I'm ready to experience that movie, but I want to. But anywho, yeah, he's a recognizable face. I guess another recognizable face that I personally recognize, David Oyelowo here. This dude, uh, he. I don't know why they're giving two different dates. That's really weird. He was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Selma. I remember him directly from that. Also Lincoln, The Butler, Interstellar, A Wrinkle in Time, Yeet. Apparently he was also in Peter Rabbit too. Like, okay. Uh, so yeah, he's a recognizable face to me. I wouldn't call any of these people draws, but they are recognizable faces, and that could be good enough. So I consider that to be a pro. Another pro. Who directed this movie? Who is Tom George? This is his first movie. Well, can't really comment on that. But its reviews are. I have to look these up. They're good enough. It's at 72%. That's all right. Its audience score is also all right. So 67%. So that's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So that's a con. I'll be a bit on the minor side of con. No, no, pro. Gosh, I've been doing this straight for an hour. This is gonna be the end of me. So that's on the minor side of pro. Another pro I can think of. This is clearly like a mystery, like a whodunit type movie, and those movies can be very successful. Look at Knives Out. That movie did fantastic. It's kind of crazy how it's going to Netflix when realistically it could go to theaters, but whatever. So yeah, this feels like it's very much in that vein of like Knives Out. I guess there's also Death on the Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. Though Death on the Nile didn't do that hot. Bodies was also was a whodunit, but that also did kind of was a more of a minor success. But audiences they tend to like these star-studded whodunit movies, so I consider that to be a bit of a pro. Any other pros I can think of? Can't think of anything. Cons. This is from Searchlight, which is a division within Fox, and as you know, Fox is owned by Disney. Uh, so we can't really use like the 20th Century Studios movies. We can use the Searchlight movies. This is from just Searchlight. Looking at these, what do we have? What do we have? No real success story. Well, I guess there's No Man Land, which actually won the Oscars. I think that won Best Picture. Eyes of Tammy Faye, that did bad. Night House did bad. Downhill, what did bad. Antlers did it bad. Nightmare Alley, bad. French Dispatch, I don't know if that did good or bad. I can't tell. But it wasn't one of Wes Anderson's bigger movies, so that's not great. So yeah, Searchlight has not had a great track record, as you can tell. So that's not a good sign for this. So that's a con. Another con is I haven't seen any real ads for this, like at all. I've been seeing like no advertisements. I'm guessing Disney used their marketing budget on Barbarian at the last minute instead of this. That's my theory. So, but yeah, lack of real ads. I've not seen a single YouTube ad for this. I've seen ads for Woman King, some from Pearl, some for Don't Worry Darling. I just saw quite a few ones for Smile. And I think I saw one for Bros. I've seen ads for all those movies, but nothing for this. So that's a really bad sign. So that's a con, especially since it's not even like a small wide release. It's in like over 2,400 theaters, which isn't like a great amount, but that's still more than enough to properly advertise the movie. I mean, Barbarian was like in 2,300 theaters. So don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it's just con. Lack of advertising, period. Con. Uh, Another con is that obviously I mentioned this weekend is literally all about the Woman King and very little else. And I can see this definitely falling through the cracks because of that. At least Pearl has a more of a chance to succeed. Like this really doesn't have much at all, so that's a con. And what doesn't help is that I actually thought this was supposed to be a limited release when I did my cancel episode on it. It was limited, but then I guess a few weeks ago or so, it decided to go for a wide release, and I was like, huh? That came out of nowhere. So the fact that I didn't even know about that should really tell you how little promotion this has and how much it's gonna just fall through the cracks. So that's a con. Uh, any other cons I can think of? Not really. So opening weekend. Oof, 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 oof. I'm gonna say 1 to 2 million to be nice. Opening weekend, and then its total probably be like between 3 and 5 million. That's where I see it hitting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, one more movie to talk about. The only movie anyone cares about this weekend, really, The Woman King. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. If you want to check out any of the past prediction videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. So basically, all the 20th Century Studios movies I've talked about this year, because the track record for those aren't much better. So you want to watch any of those, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I covered See How They Run. I covered episode 136 alongside the movie Devotion. That's when I covered it. So you want to watch that episode or any other ones, all 154, soon to be 155, because I have another one I'm going to be doing later about Magic Mike 3. So, yay. But if you want to watch any of the past cancel episodes I've done on the channel, you can go right ahead. Go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. Um, what was it? Shoot. Yeah, the summer 2022 recap, the two-parter, that'll be coming out next week, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past uh any of the past recap videos I've done on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.